on your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I dabbled in stand-up or something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Oh, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Rumble, Rockfin, Facebook, Twitch sometimes. As always, thank you for watching. And if you haven't liked and subscribed on YouTube yet, I just don't know what you people are waiting for. What do I have to bleed for you? What do I have to do to get a like and a subscribe? No, it's all good. But I do have to mention that for just, housekeeping items. For example, I am going to be on tour next weekend. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Minnesota, but I'm about to be in Minnesota. Actually, this weekend. Oh my goodness. Time is flying by. Actually, Thursday, I'm flying out to Minnesota. I'll be headlining the Great River Bowl and Partners Pub in Sawtell, Minnesota. I don't even know what kind of an accent Minnesota people have. I'll be out there headlining. Lila Hart will be featuring. Nick Rekieta will be doing a special guest spot on the show. So if you're in the Minnesota area, come on down, get your tickets. I bet the show's going to sell out because that's a hot lineup. And then I'll be back on Long Island next weekend in Belmore at the Brokerage Comedy Club next Friday and Saturday, the 27th and 28th. Then it's Halloween. Then I'll be in Tampa Sunday, December 3rd, headlining the Side Splitters Comedy Club. Then back in San Diego the first weekend of the new year, Friday, January 5th, and Saturday, January 6th. I'll be doing 3 shows that weekend out at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. So get your tickets at my website, chrissiemayr.com. Thank you so much. Okay, without further ado, she's popping her CMP cherry today. We've been friends for what feels like years. She's done my Compound Media show, Wet Spot. She's a content creator. She's a hottie. She does OnlyFans. She does it all. She's a triple threat. Welcome to the stage, Miss Holly Treats.
Hello. I was just posting about this, so.
Oh, you're better than me.
I'm like, oh shit, I have to hurry and get there.
No, that's really. I go, all right, I have to post about it, and then I'm like, well, shoot, it's time, and it takes me like about 10 selfies before I can find one that I am comfortable putting on the internet, and I'm just like,
Girl, with all the haters running around, I don't blame you. I like.
There are haters running around, and then there's. I just told the world that I was with child on Sunday 2 days ago.
Congratulations!
So, yeah.
Beautiful. It's true what they say, and that it like makes.
I don't know if it's a glow so much as this new bronzer.
Maybe. Well, either way, it looks great.
Oh, it's good to see you, Holly. I met you, Holly. I actually had your friend Swedish Bella on Wet Spot, and you came because you guys were just hanging out together in the city, and we hit it off. I was like, I have to be friends with this girl. She's just so much fun. You came and did my show, and then it's funny because like we've each sort of seen each other's worlds. Like I came to visit you in Stamford when you were
low-key honorary OnlyFans girl. I feel like you're like one of us.
Oh, wow. I'm honored. I don't know. I probably could not hack it on OnlyFans in my current form, but I want to one day get back to a shape where it might be a possible in my dreams. I went and visited you, Holly. What was
There's
that
a lot
club
of
called?
pregnant ladies on OnlyFans, by the
No,
way.
shut up.
Yeah, so many.
What? What kind of pregnant OnlyFans content is out there?
Squirting milk, like, that's, like, huge.
No.
Oh my god, you can, like, charge so much money for that, and then girls, they'll, like, take a bunch of herbal supplements so they continue to lactate, like, way longer, like, afterwards, so they can, like, continue the the lactation train, I guess, I don't know.
The only time I've ever seen recreational lactation, was I don't know if you know Elsa Jean, she came and did Wet Spot once, and she was like she just did it, and I was like, I
Wait,
didn't
was she
know
pregnant? That's crazy.
I don't know if she was or not. But she did it.
She had to have been, like, at least who knows, right? Good for
At
her,
least a
though.
bit. But I don't know if I don't think she has kids, so I don't know how she's able to do that. I think she did it like, she just willed it.
Wow, that's, like, that's honestly, it takes a lot to shock me. That Elsa Jean's always been one of my favorite porn stars,
She's
so
such a
honestly, that
sweetie.
just, like, adds to it, right? Like, she literally has talents that most people don't. That's cool.
Well, yeah, would the supplements work if you've never lactated? I don't
I
know.
know that there's, like, porn witch doctors. No, seriously, there's, like, porn witch doctors that will, like, help you achieve whatever goal you have no matter how, like, unethically weird it is. Like, you can't just walk into a normal gynecologist and be like, "Hey, I don't have kids, but I wanna make a lot of money on OnlyFans from, like, and I need you to help me make this happen, like,
So
scientifically."
so
There's
I'm
people
like
that will.
I'm like 3 months along. I haven't tried to do that, but I don't think I would be able to because I've been told that, like,
It's a secret fetish
it
a lot of men
it
have.
doesn't start happening until something about, like, your boobs hear something small crying, and then it starts making it. I don't know, but I don't
No,
think you
because
can
I've
just do
seen
it.
girls that are pregnant in their, like, second or that are lactating their second trimester. Yeah. No, so it all depends on your body. I'm not a doctor, by the way, side note, but I just, like, learn about this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, you should see these lactation ladies, they kill it.
'Cause it's a kink, right, okay.
All men, I think, have this kink of, like, reliving that experience as, like, an adult with someone they like, you know what I mean? Like
Because as a kid, yeah, you probably don't remember it at all.
you don't remember it at all, but I think all children are low-key obsessed with boobs because that's how they get fed. You know what I mean? So
They're
it's like kind of like
comforting.
an innate obsession to like as for survival. So I think that that kind of stuff like creates fetishes when you're older, for
That
sure.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. My mom told me, she's like, "Well, I knew it was time to stop breastfeeding you because you would bite me and then look up at me and then start laughing."
You're
And
like, I don't take it seriously
I was
anymore.
like, "Wow, I was funny. I was funny even as a little tot." But
Always,
I
always
don't know.
making boob jokes.
I don't know if I wanna think about that yet because it's crazy to go most of your life and then your boobs have a completely brand new function and you're like, "Well, shit, I don't know."
I just got my
Um,
boobs done,
they
like
look fantastic.
I'm like, well, not just done. This is like my first year that I'm not having surgery on them, right? Last year I had to get them redone, and then the year before that I got the new ones. So this is my first time like fully being in my big titty era. So I get it. Like it's like I'm not used to like wearing clothes for them. I'm not used to like all the attention that I'm getting, and like I feel very kind of like, oh my god,
Out
like
there.
yeah, I feel very out there. Like I feel like I have to like cover myself up if I want to be taken seriously, but I
Did you
don't.
have what is referred to as boob greed, where you get implants and then you immediately want bigger ones?
I had the experience where I got implants and then I realized like there's certain things about having implants, like they don't move like real boobs and they're like never really going to, right? So that's something where after I got them done, where I was like, oh no, my boobs aren't gonna have that like same bounce. Like they still bounce and stuff, and they're like
They
super,
bounce, yeah, they bounce definitely, like, I think as a
but they're
unit.
not like real boobs that are like literally like bouncing
Some
out.
sometimes they're too bouncy that way.
Guys like it though. Guys like that.
Hmm. It's a everything's a trade-off.
Yeah.
So was it time to get them, fixed? 'Cause I've
They're
heard
just
boobs
saggy as fuck
only.
in my opinion. Like I thought they were saggy.
Really? Okay, I've heard that you have about 10 years on an implant before you have to get them redone.
That's not necessarily true anymore with the new implant technology.
Okay.
But it depends because they do like sag. But honestly, I kind of like the natural or like sag that's happening. You know what I mean? Like they're I like that they're not up here, and I don't know
Yeah.
if they're necessarily gonna like sag that much in 10 years. So I'm kind of like I'm
No,
happy.
they look great. I have a friend, God, I have so many friends who've had implants, but I guess there's also a common problem where they bottom out, like the implant, and I don't know if this is an on top of the muscle or an under the muscle problem, but
That's an under the table
they
problem.
sink and
Yeah,
then it's almost like it looks like your nips are getting higher, but really the implant is just
getting
falling below.
lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what happened to me. That's why I got them redone last year because that
Okay.
it didn't happen that much, but I just know I was just like, I want to get this taken care of like right fucking now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your job. It's like, and if you're
Yeah.
not feeling good about yourself, you can't do your best work or face the world.
Or face the world, but yeah, save the titties. We're happy about the titties, you guys. So wait, so there's so much ground to cover. Oh my gosh, since last year, I when I came out to New York to do Wet Spot, I have just been like in my best era ever.
Wow, what's happening? I love this.
So I did something kind of like it wasn't it wasn't like straight up hoe behavior, but it was like wild hoe
Was it
like
hoe adjacent?
behavior. It was hoe adjacent behavior. And
Okay.
there was this like really famous memer who I'm a super huge fan of, who's like got like way more followers than I do. I have like 1.8 million on Instagram, but we're trying to fucking do Twitter right now, you guys. So go to Twitter.
This
But
is a big Twitter group here, so
yes,
everyone
I need
follow
the Twitter
Holly
love.
underscore
I
treats.
need the Twitter love, you guys. And so anyway, so he has like way astronomically more followers than me. And I kind of like I like nerdy guys, so he is my type for that. And he was like, "Can I just like buy you a plane ticket and like have you come hang out with me for the day?" And I was like, "This is such yes."
I
And
have never in my life had a guy be like, "I will buy you a plane ticket." Like, not even my own dad has offered to buy me a plane ticket somewhere. I just like I don't know. We live
it
different
was
lives.
very sweet. And then he said, "I knew that if I didn't buy the ticket for you, you wouldn't come." And I was like, "Damn right." So
You how far did you have to travel? You don't have to say, like, exactly
from New
where
York to
to
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we hung out for the day. It's crazy doing a 24-hour like turn and burn like that, but it was super fun. And honestly, for me, it felt like because I don't do drugs, but it felt like a similar experience to probably when people go on like ayahuasca retreats where they just like have these like fundamental, like life altering like epiphanies. And
Ooh.
like it's almost like I met like Yoda, right? Like and Yoda like taught me
From a
about
free plane ticket or just
a
the
free
the
plane ticket. And like going through my socials, and he's like, honestly, you don't have enough haters because you're not controversial enough, and it's kind of boring. If you really want to blow up, you need to like have a bigger hater base.
Interesting.
And
That's
I
so interesting because I've always, despised the haters a little bit, but you have to embrace them, I guess. It's part of
you won't go viral with just lovers or with just fans, right? Like
That's
you'll go
true.
viral because people are arguing about whether or not you're cool or not, right? And so, and so I was like, wow, that was like completely life changing because I'm like kind of like non confrontational, but I have a lot of opinions. Like, and when I finally say them, they're so toxic and petty and ridiculous that it's just like gets a lot of attention. And ever since then, it's just been like, wow, I need to be like way more positive.
You should follow I could see you making the kind of content that my friend Leanne Starr makes. She's also gorgeous and has big boobs. And she'll just be like wearing something sexy and she'll just go on a rant about a certain conspiracy theory or about what she feels about like something political going on or like whatever current crisis, and she's very just tongue in cheek about it, like, like, "Hey, I know why I know you came for the boobs, but you're gonna stay for my hot takes," and
Right.
she's merged the
Oh
2
my
very
god.
well.
I can't believe I think I'm like compartmentalizing. Y'all, this is perfect for your show because I kind of feel like there might be some controversy about this. So I actually like know 3 people that got kidnapped in Israel.
What?
Yeah.
When?
It happened during like the raid, like a couple, like I want to say last week or however long ago it was. And sadly, like the conversations, it's like so sad. We're like, thank God they didn't hold them hostage and that they just killed them. Like
Who
that.
are who ha Oh my
Yeah.
god, hold on. Who are these people that you knew?
So I'm like, I have an aunt that lives in Israel, right? Like she moved
Oh
back
my god.
like semi recently just because they've been like, this has been like brewing up for a really long time. This is like an
Really?
ancient war. And I think that's why a lot of Israelis feel so empowered because everyone fights in the military. So everyone's just like, hey, we've been kind of like raised to fight this inevitable war that's going to happen.
Wow.
But it's really sad though, because there's just a lot of political like stuff out there, right? And it's like, I think that like we can all agree, like no one wants people dying. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like, but it's like it's also super controversial because you have a lot of American um Jewish people, right, being like, hey, just fucking come to America and get out of there, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's what we've always done. But then there's this other thing where it's like people now have like grown generational families there and they're like, no, this is our like home, right? So it's like, and then I guess what's crazy is it's like, but sorry, this is like a total tangent than what I thought we were going to talk about, but it's also like this is what people want to hear. But what's crazy is like before it was kind of like a military thing, like Hamas was kind of like acting more as like a, hey, we're gonna only target military stuff. But now it's like way more cartel type behavior where it's like we're gonna target civilians to let you know we're in charge.
Oof. So that's
Like so,
that's entirely like they're trying to have big dick energy, they're trying to, like,
yeah, it's
bully, they're
that
trying
big
to
cartel energy where it's like,
big
hey,
cartel energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's that big cartel energy where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna," and they like, it's so sad. Like they showed a girl a picture of one of the hostages. She's like so pretty. She's like,
Was that the one with the leg tattoo?
I don't know if she's a leg tattoo, but she's blonde and she's blue eyes and she's like
Oh,
the
sh
21 and she just looks like she goes to festivals and is like
I
someone
s
I want to be friends with. She has yeah, she's this
Did
one,
she have she had, like, with
the second
the lip
piercing,
filler? Oh, okay.
the lip
I
filler.
saw her
Yeah.
Was that the one where they were like, "Oh, they hurt me and then they did surgery on me while I was there?" I hear
Well, I don't know if they did surgery, but she's injured, right? So it's like
Okay.
I think that they gave her like emergency treatment, but I don't really know what her injury is. Like, is her arm like cut
It was her
off?
arm,
Like,
right? Okay, I saw the same
yeah, like
thing.
is it like full blown cut off and she was bleeding? Like, what kind of surgery did you give her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's just so sad, right? And so, yeah, I hope
I
everyone.
really love that you understand this conflict better than I do because I've been really just trying to catch up, and I'm just like, "Why?" I don't know, if I get the feeling that I'm not wanted somewhere, I would leave instead of, like, it's like the 2 groups just fighting over the same piece of land. I'd be like, "Oh, why do I wanna be where I'm not welcome?" Like, I'll just bounce,
Have you ever
and,
met someone in Florida when there was a hurricane? They're like, I'm not fucking evacuating.
Yes.
That's like
Yeah.
kinda how it is, right?
Okay.
Where it's kinda like, "This is my fucking home. I'm not evacuating, like, I'll find till whatever," right? It's like
Yeah,
that's kinda
just
like
shoot into the hurricane. I love that
yeah,
attitude.
like they're like homesteading, right? And then the key thing to remember too is it is like a mandatory that everyone serves in the army, man and woman in Israel.
I think that's
No
not a
exception,
bad idea.
right? Well, they're small, right? Like they have to. And so everyone feels very kind of like empowered to fight. You know what I
Okay,
mean? And then they
right.
also know that they're in
They're
a
more
war
invested.
zone. Yeah, they're like they know that they're in a war zone too. I just kind of like, I hope everyone's okay.
Wow, okay, so this is so sad, 3 people that were kidnapped and then just killed, like, what, they were just in their houses?
They were all so somewhere in their houses, and then there was this peace rally, I guess, going on that a bunch of people got like taken from.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's so I just heard the craziest story of, like, we sometimes go to this, like, it's a strip mall, and I was just like hearing Frank's mom being like, yeah, the owners of this hair salon went into this dollar store and these Palestinians that work at the dollar store said Allah Akbar and chased these guys out like that work 2 stores down at the hair salon. I was like, what? Oh, it doesn't even sound real. Like
The other
it's
thing
scary
that's
to hear that.
crazy too is seeing people like Mia Khalifa, who also got the fuck out of the Middle East. By the way, it's like, lady, how come you didn't stay in Lebanon, right? Like, don't go talking shit about like free Palestine when you
Right.
can stay. So, like, it's
Yeah,
like,
go back and try to
yeah,
free
go
them.
back and fight if you think they should free so much, right? Like,
That's a
don't
good
have
point.
opinions about that. It like the Middle East has been terrible to her. Like her parents had to move. I think everyone in her family had to move because they have such like a zero tolerance policy on like any
With
sort of
any
Western
adult
behavior,
content.
right? Especially
Yeah.
adult content, especially just even being too sexual. Wearing what I'm wearing right now is not appropriate in the Middle East, right?
Even in your house, like, just in front of your boo?
If there's other people around, like the whole idea is that it's only for your husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how are
So
you supposed to meet that husband if you're not, you
arranged
know what I mean, giving
marriages.
everyone a little sample?
Arranged marriages.
Wow. I bet
Yeah.
it takes the pressure off, like, trying to look good if you're just gonna have an arranged marriage. Like, what you don't have to slave over your hair and makeup, you don't have to, like, learn your angles, you don't have to, like oh
The
my god, the amount of money
expectations
you
behind
save on
times.
cl
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, just make this one person happy. He will have other wives and cheat. And like, you
Oh.
know what's up, right?
You're gonna be one of, like, 10 wives. He's probably not gonna remember your birthday. You can't show your ankles, you can't drive, you can't read, you can't show your tits in public, not
Yeah,
even
there's a
cleavage.
lot of downfalls with it.
Ugh.
But
What's
you
the
know who
upside?
would love that place though is H. Pearl, Pearly Pink. She would love that world where women just have to cover their hair and like if they age past the age of 30, then they become the like village witch doctor,
Oh
you
my
know, like or
god.
whatever she thinks happens.
Yeah, that's so funny. I love that Pearl has made her way into your algorithm.
Oh my
Uh
god, I've been okay, so people don't realize this. I don't know how I can just like call like I have a good eye for talent, right? And I've been watching this girl for like 2 years and I think the first time I ever saw one of her podcast episodes that was like well done, I was just like, wow, she's like almost reminded me of one of those church guys like that are like on like the telepriests that like
What?
so here's the backstory with like telepriests, right? So they just cast people that just have good sales presence, and then they have a team of writers kind of like making their entire like show basically. And I just see like that narrative, which is like men are kind of being mistreated and women are the culprit.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like that is like almost like a biblical message. And then Pearl is or H Pearl, whatever the fuck her name is the preferred saint.
Oh, she's she's the female,
Like
I guess,
if Andrew
channel for this
Tate,
message.
right? Like if Andrew Tate, for example, was this like religious thought leader in the men are unfairly treated and need more right or need their rights realigned with women, which is
Right.
kind of like what like a nicer version of what everyone's trying to say, which is,
Yeah.
by the way, totally untrue. Like men are being super unfairly treated and there needs to be some judgment day needs to come, right? But the way they're saying it is just so toxic because it's what's going on in men's minds, and they're like looking at it and like, finally someone's saying what I've been thinking, right?
Right.
And so it's like I'm just fascinated by Pearl. She triggers the fuck out of me. I'm also like super jealous that I don't have the balls to put myself out there like her.
Well, I love how honest you are about it, and I think she knows that she triggers people. It's part of her
No
success.
shit. Yeah, like
What is the most triggering thing you think the things she says?
I think that like one of her core things is like women over 30 because it's like such a huge group of people. Like it's you read the comments, those get so much. And then I think like her more powerful messages are like there needs to be like a marriage reform.
Mm.
I don't know why she's going on this thing of like women shouldn't be able to vote. I think that's just to be cute.
I think this would be cute. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't but
Well, it's like if things turn out the way that she would like, which would be like you're finding a husband, you're getting married, and y'all are both aligned similarly politically, values, religiously, all that. So it's like, yeah, your man's vote would be like would be your vote anyway because
reflect your vote.
you're
Yeah.
gonna go for someone who you're aligned with. So
Well, and also here's the thing that we're like totally missing too. Like back in the day when marriage was all the rage, when more people got married, when it was like mandatory kind of societally to get married, it used to be this thing. There wasn't birth control. So everyone was super fucking terrified that they would have a child out of wedlock. You know what I mean? Because societally that was like crazy, or that they would die because a lot of people died in pregnancy. A lot of people died for all reasons back then.
right. And there was no welfare, so they'd be like, "Oh, I'm fucked. I can't.
Or like pregnancy doesn't always go well, right? And like now we have the technology so people don't die and so they're fine. But like back then it was just like kind of 50-50. And so it's not 50-50 anymore. It's like much easier now. But and then what we would do is like parents would basically like accept dowries for their daughters because it was like livestock, right? It's like I have my wife that is kind of like my cow that like bears me children and that like
and milk."
and milk and that like bared a lot of value. So like now we have a world where women make money and women are like part of the economic like system. So what has to happen first for Pearl's work for each world's Pearl
Most
like
people just
world
call her
whatever
Pearl.
to happen is women have to get out of the workforce first and then give
Right.
that money essentially back to men. The men
Right.
have to reclaim it and be able to be making substantially more than they
Right.
used to, like they did in the olden days, and then women need them again. And so that's not gonna happen.
Right.
So
And that's not gonna happen.
that's
Like,
not
it's
gonna happen.
a woman who makes, like, I don't know, 70 to 100 grand, like, whatever. It really depends. That number varies based on where you live, what your expenses are, and, of course, now it feels like it's a lot more inflation is, insane. Mortgage rates are, I heard, up to 9%.
It's hard to live right now. Like unless if you're in
Yeah.
like the top 50 richest people, which honestly, statistically speaking, like even if you have money, no one's that. You know what I mean? Like that's like 50 people, all right? So if
And
you're not one of those 50 people, life's kind of hard or scary right now.
I feel like most people in their 20s are not really marriage minded. So it's like even if you are a woman who's marriage minded, it's like, and you don't meet a guy who wants to nail you down, lock you down, and nail you down. You can't just sit around and wait. You have to go get a job so you can pay your rent. Like not everyone has the option to just live at home with their parents till like a man shows up. Some people's parents move to Florida and your job is in the city. You can't just be with your parents till you find somebody.
And then if you do go get a job, then guys be like, "Oh, you're way too masculine because
Like,
you."
I'm trying to live. I'm just trying to, like, pay my
It's like,
rent.
listen, I have to like provide answers to questions when people ask me questions. Like, I don't know,
Right.
like how that's masculine, but I think it's just I think the world's super confusing for people.
I think there's too much hoe shaming because if you're a pretty girl
Am I
who's
allowed to
single
vape on here?
to vape?
Yeah.
I I don't know. That's a good question. I think you're probably fine. We're not gonna oh, you're so cute doing it to the side. Secret vaping.
My secret vaping. This is what I do on TikTok.
I just think, if everybody was getting married in their 20s, there would be no promiscuity. Like, promiscuity is just it's just what happens when you don't get married right away. Like, of course, you're gonna be dating, meeting people.
And figuring it out. And like
Yeah.
it's a weird world because it's like a double standard, right? It's like, oh, like guys will be like, oh, I don't want to be with a girl that's like a project, right? Like I don't think anyone wants to be with someone that's a project that they don't know anything. You have to like know every single step of life for them. But then you don't want someone that's like jaded or knows too much or knows more than you or makes you feel insecure or blah, 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 blah. So it's just kind of one of those things where I think we're in just like a super different world right now.
I remember I dated a guy and it felt it just, like, felt bad, but I was trying to make it work, and he kept telling me that and this was right before I started doing stand-up, right before I
That is
really
such a heartbreaker.
realized I had to do comedy with my life, and, he was really pressuring me to go get a master's degree because he got a degree. He was at Columbia. He was gonna go work in fucking wind energy or something, and just, like, almost near convinced me, like, I'm basically worthless unless I have a master's degree because
Oh,
I need to be at his level, and I was like, I went to a couple, like, seminars, like, open houses, and I was like, "I guess I have to get a master's degree to, like, to make
right.
it with this person," and thank God it didn't work out. And I remember, yeah, he had a sister who was a massage therapist. He's like, "You need some degree. You need some, like, you have to do something." And because I was just I was just whatever assistant. I always had a job, but I was just going
You
from,
just
like,
have your career job.
assistant job to assistant job, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, I looked into becoming a massage therapist, and because that's what his sister did, and then my mom was like, "Well, Chrissy, what if you have to massage somebody fat?" And then that completely took me off
Or
of it.
what happens when you're getting asked at least one time a day for a happy ending?
Yeah. Right.
'Cause you will, right? It's inevitable. Like, oh my gosh, I went to a strip club yesterday or the over the weekend to, like, support this girl, and, like, I'm wearing, like, civilian clothes at the strip club, but I guess that my boobs just say that I'm in charge when I go to these places, and this guy was, like, walked past me and, like, tried to get a dance with me, and I'm like,
You're like,
and
"I'm
he was,
off
like, all,
today."
like, drunk or on whatever he's on, he was like, "No, come with me," and I'm like, "They would kick me out, but I'd love to take your money."
Yeah,
I wish
that would
they would let
would
me.
th
I wish they would let me use my dark forces right now.
what would that's considered what? Scabbing? What is that considered? You're
That's
like
considered prostitution if I'm not a stripper there. Yeah.
Oh, but the and it probably makes the girls working there feel really bad about themselves, like,
I just
"Well."
don't think they'd ever let you. Like, I know that, they like, even for in California, you have to have an entertainer's license, I think,
Okay.
to dance here. So, if you wanna go get a job in a strip club, you can't just, like, show up. You have to, like, I think you have to, like, register or something. At least in
Okay.
Vegas, you do.
And you're from New York, right?
No.
Okay.
I am originally shout out to Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago, and then I went to high school in, Irvine.
Okay. Oh, cool. Wow. So you've been, like,
Hence the
everywhere.
Asian vibes, but not being Asian.
How did you get into the industry? It wasn't, like, stripping first, or was it OnlyFans first?
No, so I actually was in a super toxic, abusive relationship where I was super financially dependent on this, like, much older man, and I was just doing
How old were you?
I was, like, 23.
Okay.
And I was, like, doing marketing because I had a marketing career, but I don't know if anyone here, like, knows about marketing jobs. Like, entry-level marketing jobs pay you, like, at the
Ye
time, it was, like, $45,000 a year, which was, like, good, but
Yeah.
it's terrible, so I was just, like, not financially independent and, doing some stuff like that, and then kinda, like, relying on him, and then he went to jail. I'm actually writing a book about all of this, so I'm not gonna but he went to jail, and then while he was in jail, I realized how much credit card debt, he had put in my credit, and so I was like, "Fuck, I have to fucking figure this out," and it got solved, but it left me so unsettled after like,
Oof.
I was just like, "I need to fucking find another source of income," and I met this girl who was doing premium Snapchat, and that's kind of what was the hustle before OnlyFans, and she just, like, very briefly told me what the game was. But she didn't really tell me a lot. And so I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna go onto my free cams and just like become a cam girl real quick and like see how this works. And I ended up getting super popular super fast and it blew up my Instagram.
What
Then
is fast? Like, what's considered
super and
going
yeah,
fast?
for me it was like within the first week because I didn't know
First
how
week.
to so I just went on there and just started doing anal shows and like squirt shows in the open chat for free, thinking like
Okay, so you went out guns blazing, like, you
yeah,
weren't just
I
like,
wanted
"Maybe I'll show a tit."
like 8 hours a day on cam, like doing so many private shows and earn my place, right? And then I got a bunch of Instagram followers. I started doing premium Snapchat. Then OnlyFans happened. Then I got on OnlyFans, and now I'm Holly Treats, and I'm doing everything. Like I'm writing a book, gonna write a show out of the book, and then maybe, who knows, right? Like if it's good enough. And then just dropped a jewelry line.
Wow.
Yeah, hollytreats.com is now a full-blown fucking jewelry store. I am actually launching men's jewelry as well. I hand make everything in my little
I
workshop.
love. Oh my God! Look at this website. This
It's
is
so cute. I know.
so cute. Oh my God! I'm definitely gonna buy some shit. Look how cute.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I almost want to tell you to wait until the next batch is on there, but it's all
Okay.
fucking cute. Like it's like because
Oh.
I got so many gemstones in.
Wow. Okay, so you order
I'm gonna
gemstones.
become the Donatella Versace of crystals, you guys.
I love crystals. Look how
Isn't that
cute.
cool? Yeah.
These
It's like a
are cute.
wearable rave wear. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's elevated rave wear.
Okay, so this is for somebody going to Coachella would buy
Or
these.
you could even wear it if you're an office girly wearing an all white boring ass outfit and you just want something that kind of shows your personality a little bit, or a bracelet. You know what I mean? Like
Cute.
I think that that's kind of like my mindset when I used to work in I used to have like a different life, right? Like I was just like, oh, I just like want a cool bracelet that's kind of like, and then hold on, actually it's really good that we're here. So this next batch that I made is a lot more kind
And how
of,
long does it take you to make stuff?
it depends on what it is. This piece took me all day.
Holy crap. That's really pretty.
Yeah, these are Baroque freshwater pearls. They're like insanely rare.
I would go Baroque if I bought one of your necklaces.
I would go Baroque.
Cute.
I will say they are in the under $1,000 price range. So that like I've been going into and scoping out other jewelry stores and being like, okay, how much do people charge for this stuff? So my stuff's
That's true.
like actually like as far as jewelry goes, is affordable, right? It's like it's definitely I feel like a price range where it's a special occasion and it
Yeah.
is like one of a kind, right? So no one else will ever have this exact piece. So, but it's still like it's not like I walked into this one jewelry store where nothing was under $30,000, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I don't even want to
They
like
wouldn't
know.
even let me into that kind of a
Yeah,
store.
I was like, I don't even want to know this place exists, right? Like,
Who's buying that
I
stuff?
don't want to be
Well,
that person. I want to be the kind of jewelry store where it's like, and then like even if you can't afford it today, I want it to be like goals, right? Like I want to be on some
goals or
Christmas.
like, yeah, I really want this for my birthday or Christmas or I don't know, like a big
Yeah.
anniversary or something. Yeah.
And honestly, there is stuff, right? Like it's some of the stuff's super affordable. The bracelets, like in the $100 price range. Like I did good.
Yeah, it is always good too when you're starting a business, like look at what similar businesses are charging.
It's
Um,
affordable luxury, as they say.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I love it. You're like a quadruple threat. You're doing it all.
I'm a
Okay, so
quadruple threat.
it started from premium Snapchat, then you went to what did you say? My Free Cams. And then did you move in, are you doing mainstream? You are, right?
No, so
Or
I've
mostly.
definitely done videos with porn stars. Like I just recently did a video with Damon Dice.
Oh, yeah, I know who
Super
he
OG
is.
male porn star. He was awesome. It was so much fun. And then a lot of girl porn stars, right? Like Nara Ford, I've collaborated with. Who else is on my list? Like so many. I'm just thinking about like most recently. But it is on OnlyFans. It is like I am the producer of my porn.
That's cool. How does it go? So you basically like you scout out who do I wanna work with, you hit him up with a
Right, like who do
message.
I want to work with? And then there's a lot of people that I've wanted to work with, but like it just like didn't like line up logistically, you know what I mean? Like especially people come to LA to like film, and so it's just like so chaotic sometimes.
And then how does it like, do you guys go out to lunch first? Is there like a getting to know you
Sometimes
period?
no, like a lot of the times, like I feel like that is what's cool because chances are, like, I mean, at least Damon and I we were friends like for a while before. So I was like, no, I know your personality. I know I want to fuck you, right? Like,
I've seen enough.
oh, how could I forget? Like Sophie D, same thing. It's just one of those things. Like, I'm fully convinced. Like, people. I'm not just saying all adult content creators, because there's definitely people that are like actually talented at it, and then there's a lot of people that are just fucking around on camera, which is fine if people are
Right.
willing to
There's
try it.
amateur, there's like enthusiasm, and then there's like pro, and then you just the
And then
love of
there's
the
even
game
some
and you're
pros that don't have that star spark, where it's like when
right.
I meet stars, no discussion is needed. All that happens, like for example, I show up with her and it's like, hey, so you want a massage and I'm gonna massage you, and then you're gonna pressure me for sex, and then there's gonna be a guy that comes out, and then that's a video. And she's like, okay. And then the video turns out just like amazing. Like we completely improv it, no prep needed other than this is what we're doing and this is where we're going. And so with like all
It
and
is just like improv. I
it's just
remember.
improv. Yeah. So you can always tell when you meet someone that's just like not good like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're just not good like that, or their style is like so different that it feels like they're not good. Maybe they are to somebody else, who knows? Like, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wow. How
Yeah.
often are you collaborating with somebody where you're like, "Oof, this is not what I thought it would be. This is like the
It
ki"
used to
I
happen
mean
so much. And then I stopped taking as many collabs.
oh, okay.
It honestly really turned me off. But so now I just have more rules. Like it's kind of like, hey, you've got to kind of like be at the same level that I'm at in some way. And if you're
Right.
not, then and I can't see it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of more what I look for now. I used to kind of just take more flyers on people and just kind of like, okay, you may like kind of just be up and coming, but like let's see it. But it's always just like it makes me so depressed when it makes me
Really?
like, oh my god, I want a different job. Like I don't want this to be my job. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of why I stopped, because I was like, this
Because is it because the okay, so newer guys, it wasn't as good because
not
do
even
they
no,
not
I'm
do they not
not
have your
girls.
level of following? Oh, girls too. They don't like
Girls. Yeah, more so with the girls, actually, because I really haven't worked with that many guys. You know what I mean?
mm.
It's more the like the up and coming creators where it's kind of like, hey, listen, bitch, no offense, you're really hot, but there's a reason why you only have 42K. You know what I mean? Like it's just like like you're not trying. When you do try, you're such an asshole that no one wants to be consistent with you. You
Hmm,
know what I mean?
okay.
When you don't have any other sources, right? Like that's
It's
and then
really
there's
hard.
people
It's
being
not
like,
it's like
"Oh my god, I try so hard, but like nothing happens." And it's like, it's probably because you're doing it wrong.
it's hard work. Not everyone's cut out for it.
And you have to like decide to like be a part of it.
Like you mean being present and
You just have to find your tribe. Like you can't like unless if you're gonna spend a shit ton of money on ads, right? Like you need
okay.
other people to validate your career. And then even if you do get a bunch of followers through ads, then you still need other celebrities to validate your career. So it's like you need, you can't just like go around,
References, basically. Yeah.
vacuum. Yeah. Like
Wow. Okay, that's
yeah.
fascinating. How important is chemistry? Or can you kind of fake it and just if you're sort of like
You can fake it.
proficient, that's all that matters.
You can fake it. Like a big turnoff for me that so many people do. Um, and I have to fake it in so many situations. If you kiss me and the second my lips touch your lips, your tongue is already out,
Ah,
I'm just instantly disgusted.
good. Who taught you that? Yeah.
By the way, it's like happens so often where I'm just like, dude, if your tongue is already out when my lips touch your lips, it means you came at me like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's fucking disgusting, you know?
No,
Uh,
you
yeah.
have to be present. You have to one thing at a time, savor the
Mm,
moment.
yeah, like it's like so
Let
gross.
it build. Let the tension, let the heat build. It's
Yeah, like
better to
just
go
go
slow.
for it. And so I luckily haven't really had that much when performing in content, but it's happened to me a shit ton with dating.
Do you find this is probably such a common question, so sorry if it bores you, but do you find
No.
regular dating hard given what you do for work?
Now I do. Yeah, and it's actually like changed the way I date a lot.
Well, you're like you had this professional memer. Who did the professional memer reach out to you, or did you to
He
them?
reached out to me. He slid into my DMs.
I think that just makes me laugh that that is a job title. I mean, I
Oh
should
my
laugh.
god! And he said it's so crazy because this just shows exactly like how smart this guy is, right? He was like, "Oh my god, you're so good at marketing. We should date."
Oh, wow.
Got
He
me.
wants you for your marketing skills.
Or he at least just like, hold on, sorry, I'm charging my computer. He at least just like recognizes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's it's not just like, oh my god, I love your boobs. It's like, hey, I see what you're doing and you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely like a business-minded person. Okay. So how long did you date this professional memer?
Oh, we just hooked up once and now we're just friends.
Oh, okay. So the sex was meh, but you're like, "I'll be friends with this guy,
I will say, like, he
for
did a really
marketing."
good job. I think it's more like logistically, like we like don't live in the
Oh,
same
right, because he's in Florida.
so it's one of those like long distance
Yeah.
friendship. Yeah.
Okay, so how are you finding you're meeting regular guys to date? Are you outside the industry, inside the industry, however?
I'm dating a little bit in the industry. I am actually like on some apps. So like I am on this one app called the Blush app, which is kind of like got like the League vibes or like Raya vibes.
Okay.
And then it's also I'm on Seeking Arrangements. But honestly, at this point, I feel like my time has been wasted so much in my life. Like I just like would rather have some like guarantee of my time.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the dudes on Seeking Arrangements have like a similar mindset where they're like, hey, I'm really tired of relationships getting complicated. So let's just
Wow.
openly set the terms because I don't have time to give you what you would expect if this was normal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not gonna be a fair trade, so how do we level the thing? You know what I mean? Either it's like,
So are these guys that are married? Like, what kind of guys are on Seeking Arrangements?
the guy I mean, there's everyone's on, like,
Okay.
a lot of everyone's on Seeking Arrangements. There are some married guys, but I also there's a lot of guys who just travel a lot and aren't married or, like, are
Okay.
divorced, you know what I mean? I feel like there's more divorced.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of a divorce thing because it's hard to pull off. Um, it's honestly hard to cheat. Like it's hard to get away with cheating, right? So I feel like a lot of married men do cheat, but it's harder for them to like
Have an affair. Like, maybe to keep
they're
that a
like,
one-off, but,
yeah,
like, to
like
have another
much
relationship is
evidence.
like, you're gonna slip. Yeah.
There's too much evidence on your phone. You know what I mean? It's too much to coordinate. You have to like, yeah.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
easier to just
And
be like, hey, honey, I'm going on a meeting to the strip club with the guys.
just to meet
You know
him.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Setting
Like,
stakes. But why would a guy do are these the guys on Seeking Arrangements, do they just not wanna get married? Like, why would they be on Seeking Arrangements and not, like, another online dating app?
a lot of them are on other dating apps.
Okay.
They're just this is like the general consensus. Okay, so I can't tell you how, it's almost like ironic how common of a thing this is. They all say, I mean, there's way hotter girls on Seeking. Yeah,
Really?
and they're
But
like,
I thought Seeking Arrangements was basically, like, you're looking for, like, a sugar baby, or you're looking for, like, to
I
pay
mean,
someone for
yes,
their
but
time.
to my disappointment, there's also a lot of people there just trying to date.
Okay.
And so-
Wow, I didn't know. I thought
And I mean,
that
honestly, like, I'm not gonna hang out with people just for money. Like, if you suck, I don't really. My mental health is more important because I have other businesses. I've got OnlyFans. I've got my jewelry
right.
company, right? Unless if you are like chill and going to appreciate me the way that I kind of like am, like need to be, and then like we both leave and our mental health is way up here. That's great, but I'm not just kind of being like, oh my god, need sugar daddy so bad, like.
Yeah, I had one friend years ago who was, like, a professional sugar baby, but I haven't spoken to her in a few years, and, like, I just don't know how long you can keep that up for.
Oh my God, you want to hear something so crazy? So,
Yes.
I moved from Chicago to Irvine, which is in Orange County, which is the unofficial like capital of sugar baby and sugar daddyism.
Oh, it is? Orange
That and
County?
Miami are like, it's just because I don't know why. I think that there's a bunch of like retired divorcees that have a bunch of disposable income. And that's how it is. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of them down there. And where was I going with that?
It's the capital. It's the sugar baby capital.
Right, sugar baby. So anyway, there was this one lady that I met. I'm not saying I want to be like her. This lady actually freaks me out, but she's a great story for my adventures. She like had to have been like 50 or 60, and I was friends with her daughter, who was like a young, hot, like blonde babe, and they were all from Louisiana. And I was like asking her, I was like, "What does your mom do?" Because they lived at this like extremely elite like apartment complex at the Balboa Bay Club, and she was like, "My mom's a sugar baby."
At 60? Wow.
Yeah, and she was like, she's been like, her sugar daddy's been her daddy for like 10 years. And he had like
Wow.
another sugar baby. She's like telling me this on like her accent. And she's like, and then she's explaining to me, she's like, yeah, but kids are an inconvenience to sugar daddies. And she's like telling me all this from the perspective of like
I guess so.
daughter, right? And that's partially like honestly why I don't have kids. Like I'm never gonna have kids until I'm like fully like just a jewelry girly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I never want to have this experience. She was like, yeah, like we're inconvenient to him.
Oof. And how and
You
she's
know what I
fully
mean?
grown.
Like, I
She's
mean,
like,
yeah,
what?
you are, but that fucking sucks to be like the kid and be like, oh, we have to leave when mom's sugar daddy is here.
How old are the kids?
I mean, at the time, the girl was like 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you wanna have kids? Do you wanna get married?
I actually do. So, I actually do, or I at least want to just like be more like multifaceted, I would say, but I don't know like what the timing on that's like.
Wait, like, how much time you need? Like, if you're like, "I wanna get married and have kids," how much time that takes?
Yeah, like I don't know like when that's gonna happen. Is that gonna be something that I want to do when I'm 40? And then if I'm 40 and I can't have kids, then am I, you know what I mean? Like, am I still going to get married? So I'm just kind of like feeling it out.
Right, like, I would approach dating, like, is this someone I
And
can
also, am I
marry and
40
have
and
kids
I
with?
can still have kids, right? Like maybe I'm 40 and I can still have kids, and then that completely changes.
Totally. So
Yeah,
many
so
people do. It's
yeah,
it's pretty common. So I would just be like, yeah, don't date someone unless you would marry and have their kids, and just don't
right.
waste your time unless they have that. So then they have like you always have that potential.
Well, and I will say this, the guys that I'm dating, even the guys that I'm dating on Seeking, like everyone's pretty qualified. I'm like that's part of the reason why I'm having such a positive experience is because I'm like not really doing anything that I like wouldn't be doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm just kind of like setting my standard
Good.
for doing it. And so I'm kind of like, hey, like if any of these situations escalated, that's fine.
Okay.
You know
That's
what I
cool.
mean? Or like, yeah.
Have you in dating faced guys that are super judgmental because of what you do for work?
I
Do they
try
get
not
hung up on
to
like
be
your
close to
body
people
count and shit like that?
I had this little random hookup in New York, and I kind of thought that this guy would be more understanding because he's a tech bro, and tech people typically understand OnlyFans people in the online industry because I'm sorry, we're the pioneers of the fucking internet. You know what I mean? Like all the
Yeah.
experimental tech goes down in porn, and so any actual tech bro would know to respect that. But this one guy was just, I think there's this one rap song where there's this guy that goes put a bad bitch in the friend zone, and I think that this guy like grew up not that hot, and
Is he
yeah,
hot now?
what,
And he
he's
became
cute,
hot in
cute
adult.
now, you know what I mean? Like he's probably way cuter than he was when he was younger, and so
Okay.
he's cute now. He's got like a little following going on, and I think he's always wanted to reject a girl like me.
I don't understand
I think
why.
that's his ultimate fantasy is to reject a girl like me. And so he did that and then like tried to like circle back and be friends and I'm like, listen, bro, you aren't like the biggest asshole that I've ever met. Like you didn't yell at me or say the most hurtful things anyone said. But like I'm trimming the fat on who I'm spending time with, right? And you're fat in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Not
fat.
physically fat, but like if I was a steak, if I was like a wonderful fucking steak, like you would be this like strip of grizzle on the side that no one
Right,
wants.
right.
So until after it's cooked and all of its juices just encompass my meat.
Yeah, if you happen to eat the gristle along with a piece of, like, the nice meat part, but you're not gonna have all gristle, and it sounds like this guy's all gristle.
he's all grizzle, yeah. So
Why
yeah,
is
he
that
was
a
super
fantasy?
judgmental, so I didn't spend a lot of time. Like, I was like, listen, clearly, like, I'm not gonna take it personally, but clearly, like, you don't understand why I'm cool, and I don't want to be with someone who doesn't understand why I'm cool.
No,
There are people, they exist, people who understand why
you
I'm
get
cool.
it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think everyone should have that position because I think everyone's low key cool. You know what I mean? But you just have to find the people that can tell.
right.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, like, a relationship's not gonna work if you have to spend so much of it, like, explaining who you are and trying to get them to
Right.
understand how your mind works, why you have the patterns you do. No one is perfect, but, like, if you can get someone that just gets you and
To all
uh
the New York people too, I feel like this is a huge thing to bring up. So this guy who was kind of a jerk, who I told to go away, came out to California, and I drive, right? Like, I have a car. Almost everyone in California drives. We don't really have public transportation. And I know culturally speaking in New York, that's very different. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people in New York that are like, whoa, who drives?
Oh, my first date with Frank, I was blown away. He picked me up in a car, like, when I was in Queens. I was like,
No,
"Wow."
yeah, like, we drive, and so this guy was, like, in my car, super freaked out, like, thinking that I don't have control of the vehicle, right, when I've been driving for, like, so long, like, my whole life, and then he also, like, threw in this thing, he is like, "Oh, wow, you're just, like, so masculine with your car and, like, taking care of everything," and I'm like, "You don't culturally understand the West Coast, bro." Like, you know what I
It's
mean?
not
Like,
it's not masculine to be able to drive when you
it's
have
not
to drive.
masculine to not need to Uber or call my parents or tell the guy to come pick me up every time I wanna go anywhere in California because we don't have subways.
That's annoying. Well, who
So
wants to be so
anyone who's
reliant on
from
other
New York
people?
who hangs out with people from California, just understand, just because you don't drive doesn't mean it's weird that we drive.
Yeah, I grew up on Long Island, like, I got my learner's permit, like, 16, license at
Right.
17 like everybody else. It's like and the first couple years I lived in Brooklyn, I would drive in and try to park, and it just was, like
Tons of anxiety,
it
yeah,
was
like,
horrible, and then I had to just, like, leave the cars at home and then do the subway for years.
I
So,
honestly, even though I drive, I wouldn't drive in New York.
it's
That scares me.
it's anxiety for
Yeah,
inducing
I
for
can't.
sure.
My brother does because he lives, like, not in the city, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you can do this."
It's annoying, especially if I drive in for, my compound media show because it's very rare, like, sometimes I'll have a guest come through and, like, may it's 1 in 20 of a chance that they can find street parking outside the studio, but usually you have to just, like, go pay in a garage,
Yeah,
and that's, like, 50 bucks. So, it's a pain,
it's a
but that's why everyone takes the subway.
yeah, and then I even had an Uber driver, like, school me when I was in New York. So I go to New York a lot and I think that the reason why you thought I'm from there is because my brother lives in New York, and so
Okay, right, right.
I go often for various reasons, but including family. And, where was I going with that? So, yeah,
Oh,
everything
the guy thought you were masculine because you drove.
he thought I was masculine because I drove, and then I also remembered, I was like, "Did you not remember in New York how terrified I was to take the subway? Like, this is obviously, like, a cultural, like, thing, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And he thought I was weird for being scared to take the subway." And I'm like, "I think you're weird for not understanding that driving is fucking superior when you can do it."
Yeah, when you're a girl who looks like how you look, yeah, it's very reasonable to be scared to take the subway, especially now. Holy shit! And just, I
And
think
also the
most guys
craziest
don't
part, the
understand.
homeless are coming out trying to go to jail right now.
Why? Because it's warm in there.
Well, no, yeah, because it's warm and they get food. So, like,
Okay.
crime goes up this time of year in subways of homeless just, like, coming up to girls like, "Fucking sorry, I have to go to jail." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm hungry. I need a nap.
yeah, and I'm like, I get picked out, but in, like, so many
Yeah.
situations, like, so I'm just like, I would be the one that gets picked out. So that experience taught me too, circling back to dating, if a guy doesn't give a fuck if you're safe that you got home after you had sex, he doesn't care if you live or die.
It's so true.
Literally. If he doesn't, like, kind of feel like, because I feel that way about my platonic girlfriends, and I'm not lesbian at all. And
Right.
I worry, oh my God, did they get home? Okay. Like anyone, right? And I don't think that's a female thing. I've met guys who are like, hey, I just like Just let me know that you like got there safe, right? It's like if you're
Yeah.
not one of those guys, you're a sociopath.
Right, 'cause like, what if someone disappears and it's like, "Oh, I don't even know if they made it home that night." You have no
No
starting point
idea.
with which to begin the search.
And hey, it's okay that you don't care, but you should say that and
Right. I
see what
don't care whether you live or die.
happens, right? Like, you should
I
just
got
put
what
it
I
out.
wanted.
You should just put it out there before you have sex and be like, "Hey, by the way, outside of this sex that we're about to have, I don't really care if you live or die. Do you still wanna have sex with me?"
Oh my god. Andrew Thomas, happy Tuesday to my favorite future MILF, Chrissy. Oh my
Woo!
gosh.
You're finally gonna be milked.
Oh
Hi,
my
Andrew Thomas.
god.
Thank you so much for the donation. I love you.
Congrats. And sexy Holly, she is so hot with a very beautiful smile. It's true.
Thank you.
Matthew Hammond, thank you, Matthew Hammond. Chrissy bypassed the haters and advanced to whole countries hating on her. That's true.
It's an
Malay
honor to be hated by this many people, Chrissy.
I'm never trying. I just am honest and then people get upset.
I thought you were gonna have a second heckler in a row. Like, I thought that guy the night that I came was gonna, like, go ape shit.
Oh, yeah, so this is what I was
Yeah.
trying to explain before, like, I think it's so cute, like, each of us have gone to each other's shows, like, I thought it was the coolest experience because 'cause I've been to strip clubs before, but I've never and I went with Frank, and this was, like, what was it? Maybe April or March or May? Might have
Yeah,
been May,
it was,
might have
like,
been May.
spring.
It was
Yeah, it was, like,
spring.
spring break time.
It was before we got married, and it was like it was, like, so fun and cute because we were, like, so in love, we're like, "Oh, we're gonna go see Holly," and
You guys are so cute!
I've never been in a strip club where I'm, like not that I felt like I was, but I was hanging out with you in, like, this special roped off area, like, it
No,
felt, like,
like, it's a different
special.
experience as a woman to go to a strip club where you feel like you're, like, part of like, supposed to
Yeah.
be there. Because like, I've had that experience too when I walk into clubs, and as a woman, you just, like, don't feel like you're supposed to be there, right? Like, you feel like you're just, like, in a hyper masculine zone, and you're, like, not kinda, like, ruining the
Sometimes
time.
you get a bad vibe from the women. Sometimes you feel like the women, like, hate that you're there, or they don't know what to do with you. The best strip club experience I ever had was in Utica, upstate New York, and, like, I walked in, the girls were, like, so happy to see me because then you look around and it's just, like, a lot of other toothless dudes, like, that maybe haven't showered because it's
They're like,
Utica.
"You're way better to look at than any of these dudes."
And it felt really cool to get so much attention, and that was a really fun night, but it was a really cool experience to be, like, on the other side of it, and yeah, they were constantly getting me drinks, like, we would try to buy drinks too, but, like, you really hooked us up, and it was so fun, and then you came to my show in LA at the Pineapple Hill Saloon, and then you came, like, it's a little bit of a different, like, backstage situation. I'm like, "Oh, come hang out behind this fake grass wall."
I honestly that felt really cool to me too, though.
It was fun, and then
Oh,
the best was when the waiter who's like, you're like, "Can
like,
you take
kicking
a
our
picture of us?
ass.
Can you take a picture of us?" And then you pull your skirt up and you're posing, and, like, you made this waiter's day, and he could, like, barely take the
And
photos.
he
He was
was
like,
so into it too, like, he was,
he was,
like,
like,
doing the
crouching
photographer
down.
crouch, yeah. Like, he was like, "I got this, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment." Like,
It was so funny. I love
I
Holly.
loved
She's
him. I
so
was like, "You're my favorite man right now ever."
It was cool. So did you come on Friday or Saturday? No, I think you were on
I was on
Saturday.
Saturday, but there was this
Okay.
crazy heckler on Friday, and then on
Yeah.
Saturday, there was this other guy who was just, like, drunk and talking shit, and then
Oh,
getting
yeah.
mad at the girls for, like, clapping for you.
Wow,
That
really?
was
Oh,
what freaked
that's
me
what
out.
they said. They said there was another heckler, but I didn't see him,
Well,
and I
and
guess
that's what
they
he was doing that made me so uncomfortable because I finally went to who looked like security and I was like, "You guys gonna do something about this guy? Like he's like kind of like harassing the guests, right? Like he's harassing people who are just here because
was
they were like
he in
laughing."
was he, did he buy a ticket or was he, like, from the outside?
I don't know if he was security and he was off that day because they seemed to be cool with him. I think he
Hmm,
worked security for the Pineapple Hill
okay.
or whatever, and then he was just off and hanging out and super drunk and getting mad.
So the security guard was, like,
It's clearly a
that
fucking
was the guy that was heckling? What? Because he
fucking Yankee.
That is wild because he didn't necessarily spring into action, when the heckler from Friday night was doing what he was doing, so
Interesting.
Maybe not the world's best security guy.
I will say California is such a liberal place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be
I'd
back in
love
San
to see
Diego in
how the
January.
crowd reacts to your skit in like Missouri.
Oh, I've never been to Missouri, but I'll be in Minnesota this weekend for the first time.
I don't
I
know
but
how they are in Minnesota because I know in Illinois and Indiana they're very liberal. So I don't know if Minnesota's the same way.
the last time I was in Chicago, I was at this place called Freddy's, which I think is more of like a rock venue.
Yeah.
I remember they were telling me because I was parked outside, they're like, "Do not leave a single thing in your car," and they insisted on walking me out to my car after the show was over. Like, it felt like a very intense outside at night situation. I was like, "No, I'm probably fine," and they're like, "No, I'm sorry, we have to walk you to your car." I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
Chicago.
I just
Okay."
did something stupid like that too, and the security was like, "Are you fucking?" And I'm like,
"Oh,
"Yeah."
no. What'd you do?"
There was this like carnival for influencers in this really bad
An
part of town.
influencer carnival?
Yeah, there was like an influencer carnival in this like super sketchy part of town called Boyle Heights. Sorry to anyone from Boyle Heights, but you know it's the ghetto. And because it's in an industrial area, so that's where you can rent out an entire venue to throw a carnival. So anyway, I go and like the valet parking for this thing is like so far away from the entrance, and you have to walk in the dark, like just. And I was alone, right? And so I
Oof.
just did the only thing that I knew to do because I was like, fuck, I have to walk for a solid 2 minutes in the dark, 3 minutes, maybe. That's like a
Yeah.
long time, right?
Did you
Like
put a flashlight on your phone?
I actually turned my phone on live stream on TikTok and just started
Okay.
streaming and look, and it was just like maybe this will deter people, you know what I mean? And luckily I got there safe and I was fine. But then I got there and I was like asking the security, I was like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, you should have like asked someone to walk with you. We would have like radioed security. And I'm like, girls don't know that this is like an option that you can just walk up to
No.
random security people and
No. You
yeah.
assume they just don't give a shit, like, they wanna
You
do their
assume that they're
job and nothing
there for
more.
where they're there at. Like you don't assume that they'll like, yeah,
Yeah.
but they
Wow.
will. They're like honored to be asked actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I assume nobody wants to be bothered. That's how I go through life.
They wanna be asked. I think, like, guys who end up doing that kind of work have sort of, like, a cop complex where they, like,
Okay.
want
Yeah.
to, like, save people.
That's kinda hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it is.
like helping.
A lot of security guards I've met are hot.
Yeah. It's nice to have somebody that would beat someone up on your behalf, or at least, like, that you could drag a man out by their neck. I like that in somebody.
Free business idea, rent a man. Anyone in a business, rent a man, and Pearl should honestly fucking do this because it's her niche. You know what I mean? Pearl, listen, girl, I just want to be accepted by you, right? So here's a free business idea that's perfect for you. Rent a man, by the hour, open jars, take out the
Ooh.
trash. Like there's so much stuff now that women are alone and single forever, like you claim, right? Like we do
Well,
need
they
education.
actually do have something called TaskRabbit, which a lot of, like, women in the city are using, like, "Hey, please help me install this air conditioner, help me put
Oh, it's
together this
well,
IKEA
tax
bed."
rapid is great, but if you named it rent a man.
Yeah, Rent a Man has a nice ring to it, like, just save
Yeah,
up all
who
your
knows, like,
jars. They
you just
come
leave
over,
the
they're just like
jar open. Yeah, like
yeah,
or it's like if a cabinet's just too tall, right? And you're gonna die or whatever, right?
yeah.
The gutter needs to be cleaned. Like there's so many dangerous activities for women. You need a war fought on your behalf. Like
I am all about just jumping up like a cat onto countertops and, like, standing on things. Yeah,
same.
I do that all the time.
Did a reel of me doing it. I haven't posted it yet.
I always like to jump on, like, precarious surfaces. Uh, oh
You
my
got
gosh.
cat vibes. I could see cat vibes for you.
Yeah, I just like to know that I'm still able to do it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you are. If you can fuck, you can definitely climb on your counters. That's what I always say.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so there's nobody super special in your life at the moment, but
I got
you
a
are open to
situation
it.
that's never gonna go anywhere and that makes me sad, but other than that,
Oh, okay, well then get out of that,
I don't really want to. I'm not done.
because sex is fun, but he makes you feel
Everything
bad.
about it is fun. We're friends.
Okay.
We're super good friends, and probably in another lifetime it could be more serious, but we're not in that lifetime. So,
Okay. Okay, I know that
but so
feeling.
this is the climax of how great it's of
Do
our.
you think that being with this guy is taking away time and energy away from you meeting some guy that is the whole package?
Oh, maybe.
'Cause how often do you see him?
Ooh, probably like once or twice a month,
Once or twice a month? Okay, how often are you talking to him?
like once a week.
Yeah, so all that
I'm
time.
trying intentionally to not talk every day, not like
Okay.
we have gone through phases where we talked a lot more, and then it honestly got super confusing. So it's like, you know what, let's just like not every
Yeah,
day, right? Like, yeah.
I think it's good to be just incredibly clear about what
'Cause I
you want.
really want to be this person's friend forever.
Okay,
Like, that is extremely important to me. And I
okay,
don't want to ever have to break up with this person. That's like
okay,
another added reason why it's this is as high as it's gonna go, because like I don't ever want to go through a breakup with this person.
okay. So you'll just be like friends who still hook up, but I feel like
Yeah,
that would prevent you from meeting a guy that could give you everything you want or most things you want.
but I'm still dating hard though, and I'm meeting
Okay.
some really good guys and not letting it kind of like linger over. But it is one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't want. I'm like relating to all of the heartbreak songs that people.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a lot easier if you meet if a guy really, like, sweeps you off your feet and you're like, "Okay, well, this is worth breaking up with the situationship over."
or just like platonifying the situation.
Platonic might just get very boring, wear a lot of turtlenecks around them, just get boring.
It's hard. This person I was platonic friends with for like almost 8 years because I met them through my ex. And
Okay.
then we started hooking up, but we were friends always. And so now I'm just kind of like, okay, when I disappear, it's not because I'm ghosting you or you did anything wrong. I just like really don't want to like you that much, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're afraid of how much you like him and you're trying to, like, stop yourself?
Yeah. So it's like I
Okay.
don't want to get into these little habits where it's like, oh, I miss talking to you every day. Oh, I
Oh god, so you
yeah, like
mm,
you know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, let's just like not let's hang out when we hang out. It's great when it's great. We help each other a lot. This is awesome, but we're not getting more serious
he
than
opens your jars.
opens the
Yeah.
jars. Exactly.
Oh my god, I love that you're writing a book. What stage are you in of the process?
So we are on the last third of the deliverable word count.
Okay. Sweet.
And there still needs to be a bunch of phases of edits, and then it needs to be shopped.
Okay.
But all of those things are still kind of getting decided like even before.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, we have advice from Courtney. I had one of those situationships a few years ago, and breaking up with him was the best thing that ever happened to me. I thought I would be miserable without him, but I'm way happier without him.
Dang, Courtney, you're
Courtney
making me
knows,
think here.
and
Courtney,
she's a hot babe.
Courtney,
Mhm.
you're like God to me right now. Sheesh, that like popped up like right when I needed it. Thank you.
Yeah.
They said
It's
that
just
I'm like sober, and so they say that you can make your higher power anything you want. And so I'm gonna make my higher power Courtney.
oh, that's really cute. I just think he's sucking a little bit of life force out of you, and he doesn't deserve it because he's like not all the things you need.
Yeah, you're so. Oh,
Like,
you
just
guys.
think of it as every time you see him, you're breaking off a little piece of yourself, like you're giving away chunks.
It's true. It's so true. And then right now, I'm also hooking up with this guy who's like, this is the first time I've hooked up with a guy who's slightly younger than me, but that I actually like have chemistry with and who isn't annoying.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, things are happening. Yeah, Courtney says, "I'm telling you, getting rid of him will make room for better things." That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
you're so right. Oh my God, Courtney. I hope he's not watching because I feel like he's scared of this moment happening for me. But yeah.
He should be. You know what? You
Yeah.
don't be like, people that are
Drop the
scared
ring
of
on
that.
him if you don't want her
Yes.
to go away forever.
People that are scared of losing a woman, propose. They nut up and they go, "All right,
Mhm.
how do I not lose you?" Yep, yep, you gotta Marie Kondo your sex life. You have to anything that doesn't spark joy, you have to say thank you and then donate it to the
Right.
homeless.
to
Yeah.
the home.
That's where the situationship donated, release him back into the ocean. Russell Hall, so what part of the valley is Holly from exactly?
I'm actually from Chicago, and even when growing up, people used to say I had an accent like a valley girl, even in Chicago before I ever like moved here. So I think it's just my dialect.
Yeah, it's just
And
your
I think
way.
this is, I think I just have the valley dialect of speaking, but I'm not from there.
Yeah, it's your natural tone. You're a you
My
identify it.
natural cadence is annoying. Let's just
I've tried to really be conscious of saying like less, and I really watch my fill pauses, like when you say or like I have to really. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do.
Your accent helps though. I don't have an accent to like hide behind.
It definitely comes out when I drink, which I haven't been doing for a couple of months, which is
I
the
will
long.
say though, you guys, when I get messages on OnlyFans and I can tell that people are immigrants or from other countries, like for example, I had this like Irish guy who was like very clearly Irish, like in the words that he was using. And I just want everyone to know, like I read these messages in my head with the accent that I think that you
You
have.
have to.
Right. And like the whole thing was he was like, oh, lass, I'd love to spread your arse. And I'm like, so if you send me cool messages like that, just know I'm like sitting at home being like,
Did he
I'm
write arse?
Irish.
ARSE?
Arse, yeah.
He spelled it arse.
He spelled it arse, so I just knew.
Irish people, when they say they're having a good time, they call it a crack, don't they?
Well, we're having quite a crack this weekend.
Right. He wants to have your crack. Oh my gosh, Holly, you're my favorite, an absolute delight.
You're my
Follow Holly on OnlyFans, Holly.treats, and follow her on Twitter. We gotta get the Twitter numbers up, Holly
gotta
underscore
get the Twitter
treats.
numbers. And Pearl, if you're watching, like, just know I appreciate what you do.
I do too. I do too. I think she's a trailblazer.
And Chrissy's not a mean girl. I know that you have to like find something to say, but honestly, like, you're both
People
friends.
call me a mean girl. People confuse a woman criticizing another woman as being a mean girl.
I mean,
But when
Pearl,
men
let's
do
be
it,
honest.
they don't call it mean guys.
Pearl, like, so you're saying that every woman who's over 30 should go like die. That's like not
Yeah,
like that's like not bullying. Okay, that's
just
fine.
throw yourself into the ocean.
I think I like commented one time on some posts. So I was like, because someone's like, oh, I was trying to like get in with the controversy, right? And so I was commenting, and then the guys were being too nice, and they were like, oh, at Holly Treats is like never gonna age, like get ugly from age, or is never gonna age. And I was like, just take me out back when I'm 40 and then have Pearl read my obituary while I'm still alive. And like she doesn't respond. And I'm like, listen, girl, I'm dropping bars in your comments. You better recognize. Like,
Just stay on it. Yeah. Oh. Just be persistent. I'm gonna crack
and I'm
that
like,
nut
you
one
keep
day.
noticing Chrissy,
Yeah,
like,
I won't stop unless I'm friends with Pearl. That's my goal.
yeah, dude, I need that validation more than I've ever needed any validation. I think it's because she reminds me of my grandma.
There is something to be said. There is a value to tough love, and I think she provides a lot of that. There are no women really giving a lot of tough love out there in terms of dating advice. It's like what your
Yeah.
grandma. That's what my mom would say. She would tell me like after I'd come back from improv practice, she'd be like, you're wasting your best years doing improv, doing comedy.
I know, like
She wasn't wrong, but she didn't give me any constructive.
Pearl's
uh
mommy. Like, and I think
yeah.
she's like, way younger than me too, which is so
I think she says she's 26. Who
I
knows?
believe it though, because she's like some sort of like college athlete, right? Like that would
Mhm.
be kind of hard to do if you're over 30. But I also think that she's hitting
I
the.
was a college athlete.
But how old were you though? Not 30.
No, everyone's, you're college age in college. You're like I was like, whatever, 17. I went at 17 and went out
Yeah.
at 21.
But then I'm like, is Pearl just having like a midlife crisis because she knows that 30 is coming up for her and she's been like preaching about this so hard that it's like in her head now? And it's like,
Maybe.
oh, I think that you're scared to like comment about me being an ugly 30-year-old because you don't know if I'm older than you or not, but I'm actually older than you and you just didn't know. So that tells you that you're wrong.
Maybe it's like, yeah, there's a countdown clock, like, countdown till I'm a hypocrite, you know?
Right, exactly. Countdown until yeah, like mentally she has like a timer set. Like you're a hypocrite
Mhm.
now. Yay.
Well, you just gotta make sure you're building in time for the things you want, like, don't work so hard and so many hours that you're not taking time to put towards the goal, like your relationship goals. If you wanna get married and have kids, like, make sure you're prioritizing that.
No, it's so true. And I think that honestly, like I think we've all seen a lot of content over the years and we're just all like I just wanted to like experience different things, right? Like I just got this desk tripod so I can make those time lapse overhand like videos that you see.
Ooh. Oh, for
Um
jewelry? That's
for
cute.
yay! And I'm like so excited and don't get me wrong, I love taking pictures of my boobs and my pussy and doing videos the way I normally do. But like I like being a multifaceted woman.
Yes.
Like knowing how to do different things. So yeah.
Yeah, you're multi-talented. Yes, Courtney, poor Pearl has no idea that her 30s will be better than her 20s. Oh my
I
god,
know!
exponentially better. It is so, so much better in every
So much
way.
better, and there's a lot of, like, honestly, women in their 30s that I've met who look way better than women in their 20s.
Yes, you
You're in your
figure your
20s,
shit
you're
out. You
partying,
learn.
and you're taking terrible care of your body, and,
Yeah,
like, I personally looked younger now than I did in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, I just honestly, like, I felt like I looked old a lot, and people mistook me for older
you
a lot.
figure out how to
Yeah.
do your hair. You figure out what clothes look best on you. You
How
figure
to
out.
do your makeup, like, you have a
Yeah,
youthful glow because you're happier, because you're not, like, desperate to figure out if you're gonna be able to afford life when you're in your 30s.
yeah,
Like,
it's true.
you're
You're
like,
more
"Yeah, I'm
confident.
30 and I fucking got this, like, I'm in charge now."
You've
Like,
lived life. You've bounced around. You've figured some shit out. It's just better.
it is.
Holly, oh, I miss you. We have to hang out soon. Anywhere.
I'm coming to New York, guys. I am hosting Hustler November 11th for the UFC fight.
That's my
Um
birthday.
Oh my god!
Now I know what I'm doing. Now.
I know what you're doing. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to get tickets to the fight, but I don't know if I'm that cool because those shits are expensive. But we're definitely gonna hang out. I'm gonna come out a few days early so I can get in my time. So let's hang out for your birthday, Miss Capricorn or Scorpio?
Scorpio.
Scorpio!
What are you?
I'm a Virgo.
That makes sense. That explains the jewelry making.
Yeah, it
Okay.
explains all the crafty organization and my OCD. It like heavily
Mhm.
explains my OCD and how I over explain things like
Yep.
insecurely. Yeah. So
Virgos are great though. Virgos will help you get your shit together in life.
Virgos
So,
are good because Virgos have like, but what's weird is I'm way more forgiving of other people than I am of myself. Like the unreasonably high standards thing only applies to me.
yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Faux show. Okay, so Hustler, November 11th.
Hustler and Chrissy's birthday, November 11th.
Yeah, I just have no idea what I'm doing yet. It's the first birthday I'll have where I'm not drinking, so that's I gotta figure something out.
I won't be drinking either. So if you need a sober buddy who
Okay,
always knows how, like, I don't think people understand. Like, I think people think I do a lot of drugs just because of the places that I go. But like,
probably,
I'm
yeah.
actually sober for all these things.
That's great. Yeah, then you remember them.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Everyone follow Holly on
I love
OnlyFans,
you
on
guys.
Twitter.
I love
Love
you,
you
Chrissy.
too.
Congratulations on the baby, and I
Thank
can't wait to see
you.
you.
Oh, I'll talk to you soon, Holly.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.